Hey y'all, my name is Shania. I'm a hairstylist and a senior undergrad accounting student. Welcome to my channel. This is my very first video that I'm very excited to share with y'all. Before I get into the video and give y'all this skill that has drastically changed my life, I just want to introduce my brand, which is called TEBA. A quick little origin story on where TEBA, which stands for the Exigency of Business Academy, has started from. So when I first decided to join the service industry, being a hairstylist, I knew literally nothing about how to run a business. Like, I just knew I had a skill that I could provide to people to make some money, and that's just what I did. It was the height of the pandemic, which is when, it was a time when a lot of people got laid off or had to get different jobs that were available at the time. And I ended up working somewhere that I really wasn't too fond of. Like, I lasted a month there, and it was a warehouse job, so it just wasn't my thing. I ended up utilizing my skill of knowing how to do hair, and I just started to do hair out of my grandmother's house. And I appreciate and thankful for my grandmother for letting me even do that. My setup was so unprofessional, but it got me to where I am today, so I'm very thankful for that. And basically, when I first started doing hair, only thing I did was did my service. I would turn the TV on, did my service, may have a little small talk, and then that was it. I'll post on social media, and that was pretty much it. And that's all I knew about business. That's what I thought a business was. But with me now being 3 years in, I have learned so much about running a proper service business. And honestly, when I first started doing hair, I wasn't a business major just yet. I had just transitioned from being a nursing major, because that's what I thought I wanted to do, was be a nurse. But life took me a different route, and now we are here. So I decided to create TEBA to combine my experience as a service provider with my knowledge I have learned from being a accounting major, with also like my outside sources, that education that I do on my own. And I wanted to provide y'all information on how to start, improve, and maintain your business as a service provider. And from my own experience, plus talking with clients and seeing on social media, I can tell there is an urgent need and demand for business education in the service industry, and that is what has brought me to today. And it goes a little deeper on my reason and my reasoning for starting TEBA, but that's the scratching the surface level on why I started TEBA. I intend for this channel to bring you all great and valuable information on how to improve your business. Even if you have a business already, you can always learn. If you don't have a business yet, but you're thinking about it, you can learn for sure. And I'm just very excited to be providing this information to y'all. And yeah, so that's the little origin story of TEBA. Oh, that's another thing I meant to mention. I'm not gonna be just talking about like money and just like, that type of thing. I'm also going to be getting into personal development, because that is just as important, if not more important, when it comes to running a business and improving your life in general. Like, you need to always want to be able to grow your character and grow yourself, your mind. So I will also be getting into that as well. So if that type of content interests you, make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell, like this video if you're excited for me to start this channel and you're excited to learn information that will help your business. So with that being said, let's now get into the video. This skill that I want you to master and really understand is called emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is the ability to perceive, use, understand, manage, and handle emotions. Emotional intelligence is like the huge umbrella, but there are also subcategories into emotional intelligence, 4 of them being self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, and relationship management. Self-awareness is the foundational component to all of the other 3, because if you don't understand yourself and the emotions that you have and what it is that's causing you to have those emotions, then everything else is not going to make sense. So ultimately, self-awareness is the ability to know yourself beyond your thoughts, knowledge, performance, skills, beliefs, and attitude. Ultimately, when you're honest with yourself and you really know who you genuinely are, like your weaknesses, your strengths, things you like about yourself, the things you don't, the things that's inhibiting you from growth. This is when you really understand and know yourself. When you have this understanding, you're then able to take the appropriate steps to become a better person. With this skill, you're able to become a better decision maker and a better communicator because you're able to articulate exactly what it is that you're trying to say in a proper manner. You'll be using self-awareness in your business all the time, but one example specifically for y'all to really grasp the skill is, say for example, you feel like you're stagnant and you're stuck and you just feel like you haven't grown or you haven't reached the potential that you have. When you have self-awareness, for one, you recognize this and you don't just have excuses for what it is. So you recognize the issue and you then are able to make clear and specific decisions on how to get out of this stagnant situation that you're in. The next component is self-management. Self-management is the ability to bounce back from negative emotions, being able to change and being optimistic. When you are self-managed, you're able to have that sense of self-control and be able to manage your emotions, not letting your emotions control you. When your emotions are controlling you, you tend to make impulsive decisions. And when you make impulsive decisions, the likelihood of it being a just and a fair and correct decision significantly lowers. And when you're able to self-manage, you're able to use coping skills such as like taking a deep breath, calming down, go writing in your journal, and separating your emotions that you're feeling from what's going on throughout the day. If I give an example about myself, and when I first started doing hair, I was everybody got emotions. Emotions are not bad, but they become bad when they dictate how you maneuver throughout your day. And that was an issue that I had where I was emotional and I was emotional, but I didn't know how to control my emotions. So if something happened that morning where it was devastating, probably wasn't really that deep, but I seen it as devastating. The rest of my day, I had an attitude, or I just didn't want to be bothered. My energy was very low. But now, since I won't say I mastered the skill, but I've now incorporated coping mechanisms. I can have a bad day in the morning and I'm able to separate that from what's going on in the rest of my day. So I'm, continue to have a positive energy, continue to be positive, continue to be ready to show up as a business owner. And it has been very great. Like, I love being able to be self-managed because the emotions be emotioning. Definitely figure out what coping mechanism can you use to calm yourself down and separate your emotions from business, because you do not want to mix emotions and business. I mean, a little tiny bit, like more so like empathy you want to incorporate, but you do not want to incorporate other emotions into your business because they don't mix. It's like water and oil. The third component is social awareness. Social awareness is the understanding of others' emotions, how they think, and how your actions impact them. Now, before I go into detail with this, I also want to put out there, being socially aware and considering other people's emotion does not equal being a people pleaser. People pleasers, when you are a people pleaser, I was a people pleaser at a point in time. Like, I just genuinely like to help people and just, show up for people that's around me. But when you are a people pleaser, you tend to put others before yourself, even when it doesn't make no sense, or when it's going to be a detriment to you, you put others before you. That is not what we're doing here with social awareness. Social awareness is you understand other people's emotions, and you're able to read body language, you're able to read tone, you're able to, really be able to understand what it is that the other people around you are feeling. And you're able to understand how the way you say something or what you say will come off to other people. You're then able to be a better communicator because, for example, say if you don't have an attitude or nothing like that, but you don't have an attitude, you're not mad, but your tone is coming off as if you have an attitude. So it's like, it gives off mixed signals to other people. Like, does she have an attitude, or do he or she have an attitude? But you really don't. So when you're socially aware, you understand that, okay, let me speak in this type of tone, whatever tone that is, so that I can clearly get across my message. In business, you do, like I said before, want to be empathetic to your clients. You do want to be able to be understanding on what it is that they're feeling, meaning like put yourself in their shoes. For example, say if you get a bad or negative review, and this is when you really have to be empathetic and really understand what is the issue that the client is having. So even if you don't agree, because a lot of times You may not agree with what the person is saying that they're complaining about, but as a service provider, it is very important to be understanding on how they are feeling. When you are able to understand, it lessens the tension that could be caused when you're going, when you're having a conversation with the dissatisfied client. And when you're empathetic, I feel like you value people's time and their money more, because you understand what it's like to work all the time to earn your money, and you understand what it's like for people to be on time or for people to be late or whatnot. Empathy is a very important aspect to have. Not a people pleaser, we're empathetic, okay? Empathetic and people pleasing, two totally different things. Do not overcompensate for being empathetic. You just want to do, enough that is a balance for yourself and for the client. The fourth and last component is relationship management. Relationship management is the process of managing and optimizing interactions with its customers that are past, present, and in the future. Relationship management is also known as CRM, customer relationship management, and it is very, very, very important. The relationship you build with your clients does not start when y'all meet in person. Relationships begin even before you talk to them. Like when they see your website and your booking site, that is when the relationship is starting to build, because your website or your social media platform is a representation of you. Your client is trying to fill out how are you as a person based on how you speak, the stuff you post, the music that you incorporate into your social media. Like, these are very important aspects that clients pick up on to really understand how are you as a person. And relationship building is very, very, very important in business, because it allows you to have client retention, meaning that your clients will be continuously coming to you. It offers you free promotion, because when you have a good relationship with your clients, they don't mind talking about you to their friends and their family, and it recommends you to them, which will in turn bring in more revenue for you. The relationships you build, you never know where these relationships will go or take you. You could be having a conversation with your client about something, and then they end up letting you know about something that could help you in the futures. And most importantly, when you're able to build relationships with your client, it makes your job a lot easier. Like, especially for services that you're going to be there for a long time, like 4+ hours, if you're like a tattoo artist or a braider or microblading for the eyebrows. Like, these are services that take a long time, and you're going to be in each other's presence for a long time. So when you have that comfortable relationship with your client, it just makes your life a lot easier. Like, you could be especially if you're a conversationalist. Like, if you know how to have conversation with people, not invasive, like we're not getting into people's business, but turn on the movie, talk about the movie, figure out what your client interests are, turn on a show that complements their interests. All these aspects in the long run help you to build these relationships with your client. That sums up the 4 components of emotional intelligence, and from experience, I will tell y'all that it's not easy, because you're gonna have to break some habits that you already have and implement new ones. But if you stay consistent with it and dedicated and disciplined to what it is that you're trying to accomplish, it will happen. Like, I'm telling you, it will. Give yourself a time frame that's realistic, but just do the work. Honestly, like, just do it. When you implement these 4 components, you will realize a significant change in your overall well-being, your health, your business, just like altogether. Like, this skill is very, very, very crucial to have a peaceful and fruitful life. If you want to know ways on how to incorporate these 4 components into your life, leave a comment down below and let me know. It's not going to come easy, nothing that's good in life comes easy. So just make sure you're consistent and dedicated to the changes that you want to make in your business, and do like a self-assessment. Like, I'm going to give y'all a little homework to do. Do a self-assessment on yourself and do one for your business. Just going through those strengths, your weaknesses, and solutions that you can implement to change these flaws. Not flaws, but these weaknesses that you have. Make sure you leave a comment down below. Did you know what emotional intelligence was? Like, is this a new term that you're, learning about, or did you already know about it? That's all that I have for y'all today. Thank you all for watching. I hope this video brought great value to your life, and I intend for this channel to bring great value to your life. So I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.